Hello everyone, you're on the Player Review channel. In this video, we will take a closer look at some legends who might not seem the most relevant at first glance but still manage to impress us. Plus, we'll compare them to other cards currently available in SBCs and beyond. So even if you weren't planning on completing these legends, this video will still be useful. Let's start with Carlos Alberto, who has an average body type, stands at 180 centimeters tall, has a controlled acceleration type, and 3+4 stars. For chemistry styles, we recommend Shadow or Anchor. However, Anchor won't give the card high aggression or strength, so it's better to boost speed. Notable playstyles include Power Shot, Long Ball Pass, Intercept, Golden Anticipate, Jockey, and Golden Relentless. For roles, he has double pluses for the center back position. Right away, we can say that his speed is sufficient, even without the lengthy acceleration type. Alberto is genuinely fast. Most of the time, the Brazilian was tested as a center back, considering the double pluses for this position and the fact that even his base version managed to replace Konate in the squad. This is not a call to do the same or to complete the Winter Wildcard SBC. It's entirely your choice. But the key feature of the Brazilian is his acceleration, which has become critically important for any center back after the patch. Yes, Alberto isn't very aggressive, he lacks physical presence, toughness, and so on. For example, he can even lose balance during a tough challenge, though this happens rarely. The main thing is that he is quick and quite tenacious, thanks to his Golden Anticipate, and in most cases, that's more than enough. Another point is that he is more manual in defense. That is, you always need to press tackle, use physical challenges, or slide tackles because he won't win battles just with his body, especially against larger opponents. Of course, at times, his height and aerial ability may be lacking, but this is more relevant for corners. If you have at least a couple of tall players in your squad, there won't be any issues. Perhaps the biggest drawback of this card as a center back is the lack of blocks. This means you need to position yourself very precisely to intercept a shot or go for a risky slide tackle to block an attempt. On the other hand, the Brazilian is agile, which helps him quickly escape pressure after an interception or tackle. This is an important detail to consider. By the way, his positioning and marking are excellent. Even the base version reads the game very well. Additionally, he has great interceptions where the ball rarely bounces away, thanks to both his playstyle and high ball control. This version of the Brazilian is also notable for its Golden Relentless, allowing you to frequently press with a second defender without worrying about stamina. This applies even when playing him as a right back. And yes, the Winter Wildcard version is better suited for the center back role rather than right back. For a right back, you can simply use the base version. Now let's go through some right backs and center backs. A direct alternative to the Brazilian is Thuram, as he can play both center back and right back. If you already have him untradeable, then Alberto can be skipped, even considering his Golden Anticipate. But if you have a tradable Thuram, it might be worth considering the Brazilian. On the other hand, Dumfries' card should be outright banned. Just look at these stats and play styles. It doesn't even matter that he lacks Anticipate and double plus rolls. The key is that he is tall and has the lengthy acceleration type. Essentially, he's like Theo Hernandez but on the right side. He's one of, if not the most reliable right backs. We actually liked him more than Maicon, so definitely try him if you have the coins. By the way, Alberto is still more reliable in defense than Cafu, mainly due to his larger body type and Golden Anticipate. Sure, Cafu is more agile, making it easier to transition out of defense and join attacks. But if you prioritize defensive stability, then Alberto is the better choice. That said, we would still recommend buying at least the base version of Carlos before committing to the Winter Wildcard SBC. Even in general, our base Carlos Alberto has been performing well as a center back. Yes, he lacks the extra defensive roles, but honestly, that hardly impacts his effectiveness. He reads the game well, intercepts efficiently, and is consistently in the right place at the right time. That said, he is more of a manual defender, meaning you need to control him more actively rather than relying on AI or physical dominance. The lack of blocks is also a downside that can't be ignored. Now, a few words about other center backs you might have in your squad. Stones is still very good, but Alberto is faster. If you're happy with the Englishman, it might be best to wait for an evolution upgrade for his card. Interestingly, we replaced Konate with Carlos Alberto precisely because of his quick acceleration and strong ball control. Acceleration has become more important for center backs after the patch, so now we prioritize players with high initial speed. Speaking of which, we were really impressed by the new Araujo card. We highly recommend it. He's an absolute beast, very fast, physically dominant and big, yet not as heavy as Konate. He has everything you need in a meta center back. For us, he is better than Stam, although Stam's card is a bit of a mixed bag. Statistically, Stam is much more meta than Carlos Alberto as a central back, but he doesn't suit everyone. So if you completed Stam or packed him and don't like him, you might want to give the Brazilian a try. And don't forget, we have an older review on Stam that you can check out. As you know, there are a ton of center backs and right backs in the game, so leave your questions in the comments if you'd like a comparison of Alberto with another card. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the upcoming review. We are giving Carlos Alberto a rating of 8.8 for card quality and a rating of 8 for SBC value, with detailed ratings coming tomorrow in our Twitter. As you know, in EAFC 25, the rewards for the Weekend League are awesome, which means that the game has become much harder to play. Our boosters will help you to get the best rewards. Write in, because the number of spots is limited. And don't forget that we also sell coins at a cheap price. All links in the description. Time to talk about Hristo and his average body type. Standing at 178 centimeters tall, the Bulgarian has a controlled acceleration type and 5+4 stars. For chemistry styles, we recommend Engine, Hawk, or Hunter, which we'll discuss in the review. Key playstyles include Finesse Shot, Chip Shot, Power Shot Plus, Dead Ball, Flare, Rapid, and Golden Technical. For roles, he has Inside Forward ++ for both left and right wingers, as well as Advanced Forward ++ for the striker position. Let's start by addressing his pace. If you feel Stoichkov isn't fast enough, just give him a Hunter. We were completely satisfied with his speed on both Engine and Hawk. One thing to note, if you want a more explosive speed boost, Engine or even Hunter for a partially explosive acceleration type is the way to go. The speed boost isn't outstanding, but it's above average. One of the first things that stood out was how well the Bulgarian makes runs in attack, especially when played as an advanced forward. Here's a great example where he initially ran into an offside position but quickly adjusted to receive the pass, leading to a goal. Or in this case, he perfectly holds the offside line, waiting for his teammate's pass. That brings us to his top-tier shooting. As we know, he has a full set of shooting playstyles, with Golden Power Shot being the standout. And yes, if you've switched to the precision setting, power shots will be your go-to. With the aiming reticle appearing under the player, it makes these shots much easier to land. In this moment, not only does he score a finesse shot with his 4-star weak foot, but he also sets himself up beautifully for the shot, despite not having first touch. And this is on Hawk, meaning you don't necessarily need Engine for such animations. Additionally, he moves really well on L1 dribbling, showing great speed and sharp turns, as seen in this clip. However, R1 dribbling isn't as fast as we'd like, likely due to his relatively larger body type. On the bright side, this body type makes it easier to shield the ball while advancing with R1 dribbling. As always, skill moves help a lot, if you regularly use special moves on a 5-star skill player. Regarding his inside forward role, Stoichkov performed well on the left wing, but as we mentioned earlier, we strongly recommend using him as an advanced forward, either in a striking duo or as a lone forward. Final thoughts. Overall, we really like this card. Yes, it's not top tier meta, and the price isn't cheap, but it's a very solid card. To keep things short, let's quickly go over the current SBC alternatives. Who else you might consider instead of Stoichkov? Kluivert is definitely a pass. Yes, his price is good, but if you're going to spend, it's better to invest in either Stoichkov or someone else. Kluivert feels too heavy and sluggish. Not recommended. We wouldn't recommend Torres either, despite his more attractive price compared to Stoichkov. Yes, he costs half as much, but again, your fodder would be better spent elsewhere. Same goes for Van Persie, but if you follow our reviews, you already know this. Kane is still great, but we now have a cheaper alternative who, while not having the same insane shooting, is still a fantastic option. Of course, we're talking about Jota. Jota's card is really solid and reminds us of Pedro Neto. That said, we wouldn't replace Neto with him. Instead, we'd go for Sanchez. By the way, if you missed our review on Sanchez, we recommend checking it out. And yes, if we had to pick between Sanchez and Stoichkov, we'd choose Sanchez. That said, the Bulgarian still has a fantastic card that we genuinely liked. So if you've been considering his SBC, go for it with confidence. And if you have any questions, you know what to do. We're giving Hristo Stoichkov a rating of 8.7 for card quality, and once again, reminding you that detailed ratings will be available tomorrow in our Twitter. For SBC value, he gets 7 points. Not the cheapest SBC, but the card is excellent. Thanks for watching until the end, and see you in the next videos.